As a boat owner, what is the most terrifying fear that you have? Is it losing the boat in a furious storm with those fingers of lightning and gale force winds? Is it the fear of a devastating collision? Or maybe it's the fear of grounding or sinking and watching what you've put so much of your life into slip under the waves. For me, yes, those are concerning, but they're not the most heart-stopping for me. So what could it possibly be then? Well, I'll give you a hint. It happens at least twice a year for me, and after so many years, no matter how many times I've done it, it still makes my heart stop a little bit every time I see it. As the days grow longer, the pious ritual for those of us in northern waters begins. A time of impatience, excitement, and preparations as Mother Nature slowly and often retractably gives up to the spring season. Soon the day of launching is at last at hand. But soon enough, it's showtime at the launch area. All that winter cabin fever is forgotten. But the demon of my continuing angst appears. Soon we'll be hoisting our boat, our floating treasure, with a single, non-redundant, monofailure hook and chain. Maybe it's just me, but it's a mix of precision and nerves that I'll never completely lose the anxiety over. One mistake and thousands of pounds of your dream are instantly in trouble. But when it's done right, it's a beautiful thing to watch. Today, we're going to take you through a beautiful thing, a flawless crane launch of a J70, and how you can make this happen yourself. But first I would ask, if you enjoy this content, please click the subscribe and like. It really helps me to keep these going. And just know that my only purpose in doing these is for the love of the sport. Oh, and by the way, a promise, no AI here. Thank you. A perfect launch starts hours before the crane fires up. The secret is preparation. Anything that can roll around and affect the center of gravity is gotten off the boat or tied down. On the J70 and the sonar, we use lifting straps directly to the keel. When we lift from there, we are lifting from the heaviest part of the boat. Now, some boats use straps around the hull, and that works, of course, and there are some boats that must do this since they don't have vertical access to the keel bolts. We double-check the single most forgotten item when lifting from the keel: the lifting rings. Are they compromised by corrosion? Especially when the boat is in salt water, it's worth keeping an eye on that every time you launch. Ask me how I know. Also, is there any way that the attachments to the lifting rings can unintentionally come undone? Hint: hooks are not enough. I use locking carabiners like this, rated for 2 times the weight of the boat each. All tempered steel, nothing less. Straps are the same, 2 times the weight of the boat each. Fortunately, these days they are not hard to come by. On the sonar, we use guide wires to keep the fore and aft tilt of the boat in control. When the mast is not up when hoisted, I put the guide wires at their full length so the boat is horizontal. When hoisting with the mast up, however, like when we're doing a bottom cleaning, we make sure that the guide wires are shortened a bit so that the boat tips forward slightly, so that the mast doesn't get damaged by the crane. And now ask me how I know that one. On the J70, guide wires are typically not used, or at least not that I've seen yet, but it requires someone to pull down on the bow if the mast is up. Now, the other thing that's important to know when hoisting the boat with the mast up is that it needs to have swept spreaders so that the backstay can be released without risk of the mast falling. Both the sonar and the J70 have swept spreaders, so we can detach the backstay for hoisting. Note that the sonar class rules, however, dictate that there be an extra seatbelt-like safety line on that backstay when sailing, just in case someone pulls that pin accidentally. On one of my other favorite boats, the Dragon, the spreaders are not swept and you need to stabilize the mast before you can hoist. Is the crane up to the job? Are you sure? A crane is sort of like a building's elevator, where you are held to a standard of the public's trust. There is a surprising amount of preventive maintenance that goes into a crane, and lots of things can go wrong. I've had the crane get stuck, for example. It's worth asking and trusting the marina or club manager if things are on the up and up before you hook up. Oh, I learned this the hard way, believe me. Now, let's get into that beautiful thing I was talking about. Remember that? A perfectly orchestrated J70 launch. Go ahead, kick back and watch with pleasure. The straps pull taut. The boat lifts a bit, and everyone freezes to check the balance. It's level enough, and you see that the mast is up, so we need a little bit of tilt. As you can see, nothing ever goes perfectly. There's a stray line that gets caught underneath the tire here. With a signal, the lift begins. And the towing vehicle is pulled away. And now we're really committed. Yeah, this is where my heart rate goes up. Once clear, a gust of wind can make the boat spin, and that's where our control line team is crucial. With lines on the bow and stern, they apply gentle pressure to stop any rotation as the crane swings the boat over the water. And this is the place to make those last-minute go-fast things done to the bottom of the boat. The descent has to be precise. As the keel touches down on the water, the boat gains stability, but we don't release it yet. Do we see any surprises? By keeping the straps tensioned, the crane could lift the boat right back out if there's a problem. But today we got a thumbs up. It's bone dry in the bilge. The operator lowers the last few inches, the straps go slack, and for the first time this season, she's floating on her own. And there's a collective sigh of relief. And my pulse rate goes back to normal. The lines are secured to the dock, and the lifting straps and guide wires are removed. A picture-perfect launch. And just like that, we're in the water. Successful crane launch comes down to three things: a meticulous prep, clear communication, and a skilled use of those control lines. Get those right, and you turn a nerve-wracking day into a safe success in less than 10 minutes. And here at Sailing Team Tally-Ho, we have a great season ahead. So hit that subscribe button and join us for the adventures. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you out on the water.